everyone, so it's like 6 months since I made my last video recording. I have actually bought myself a new car. My previous car was Tesla Model S 90D, and I have now bought a 100D. The only reason for upgrading was that I wanted more range and also that I got a good deal for it, so I decided to go for it. And the new car has Autopilot 2.5. I would say that it's the same thing as the previous one that had 2.0. It has a slightly faster processor and it has a better entertainment CPU processor, making the screen and everything a little bit quicker. But when it comes to the Autopilot, I would say it's the same thing. But the thing that has changed actually is the new versions of the firmware. So this car actually has 2018.26.3. It's the latest one for today, and I would say that the Autopilot, which was really good before, has become even better. I remember that the first time I made my first recording, it wasn't really able to handle the really sharp turns. If there was a quick turn to the left and then followed by a quick turn to the right, the car usually actually left the lane. A little bit later, like I would say like 2 or 3 iterations of the firmware later, or 5 or 6 months, then the car was able to handle those kind of turns quite well. I would say that it did like 80–90% of how a human being would have been done, but it still left some things to wish for. But with the new version, this is actually 6 months since I made the last recording, so there is like another 3 or 4 iterations from the last recording to this one, and I have seen a big improvement. Actually, it actually felt like Elon Musk or someone at Tesla had been watching my video just to make sure that the car handles the curves and the quick turns on the road I actually drive on. I know that they haven't done that, but I got that feeling because it handles so well. I have activated the Autopilot now, and it's 70 here, so let's see how it handles. I would say that it is spot on in the lane at the moment, and this is the place where the car usually had some problems before. It had more problems going from the other way around, but it also had problems from here. It actually decreased the speed from 70 to 66 down to 62 now, 55, and now it's actually increasing speed again. So I would say that was spotless. If I would have been in the passenger seat and a friend of mine would have been driven in the car, I would have felt fully comfortable with that. That was actually really good driving. And now we're coming up to a hill, and the last version before actually was actually able to handle it, but it left some things to wish for. It used to turn to the right a little bit, and but there's nothing of that now. It actually drives just as it should. And this road is about 25 kilometers long until you get to the highway, and it's a lot of hills, up and downs, turning left and rights, and it's even a lot of turns in the hills or straight just after the hills. And I've been driven here about like 15 to 20 times now since I got the car, and I haven't had any problems at all. This is actually a quite challenging road. I will try it also later on in the winter, just to see how it handles when when there's a lot of snow and ice also, but I would guess that it will handle that quite well. And also, if I would feel uncertain or uncomfortable, I would still be able to lower the speed a little bit, and that would also increase the safety. But at the moment, this is perfect. But let's see if we can turn around and head for the curve of death. The biggest problem the car had before was when it came from the other way around. So, and it usually went over the line or drove on the line several times. We just try to find somewhere to turn around. Oh, this is actually a quite good corner. It's a sharp one, downhill, not that much visibility, and it handles really good. I will actually go a little bit further because it's the same thing over here. This next hill turns left, and it's also uphill. So just to see how it handles, but I would say that's perfect. The car would get a driving license for that, no problems. The next big thing to get this car able to do is to handle stop signs and circulation spots and stuff like that. Then I would be really happy, but it's still very good. You don't have to do much now that when you're driving just on the road. Okay, let's see if we can turn around here. Perfect. Okay, so the camera fell down. There you go. It's actually 80 here, but the car says that it's 70, but that's because it just turned to 80 over there, and now it goes back to 70 again. Okay, so this used to be quite a big challenge for the car. It usually went over the line or drove on the line, but I would say it has about 2 or 3 decimeters left, and I would say that it stayed pretty much in the middle. If it would have had like 1 or 2 extra decimeters for safety, that would have been even better, but that was really good. And of course, same thing here. Actually, when it takes a left turn, it feels even better, because that's... Oh, here we have a cyclist. Let's see how it handles. I don't dare. I will take over just to see. Okay, I don't want to take any chances. Usually it just brakes and considers the cyclist as a car, or it actually passes the cyclist, but very closely. So I would say that's a thing to solve later on, but the car is actually able to handle that. But with its solution being that it will start following the cyclist, or actually pass the cyclist very closely, which is not correct. But that's probably for the next update or a couple of updates. Let's see. Actually, I actually passed a couple of cyclists back in 2017 in one of my videos. So if you want to watch that and have a look, I would say it handles it a bit about the same nowadays. Okay, so a couple of 100 meters left until we get to the curve of death. A bit silly name, I agree, but I started calling it that, and it kind of got stuck to it. This is really good actually. It was so annoying back in like 2017 that the cars tried to turn right all the time when you went over a hill. I'm a little bit surprised that they had to wait this long until they actually figured that out and solved it. But I got it explained to me that there's actually a completely new AI integrated into the new firmware as it was before. Okay, so this is the Z curve. We're driving at 70 at the moment, which is quite fast. And the car brakes now, starts to turn. It's down to 60, 59, 58, 55. Okay, so it actually brakes and handles the curve correctly. And I would say it has about 3 or 4 decimeters left until the line, so I felt perfectly comfortable there. And there was actually a warning sign put out on the road, making it very good for the car. The car was it wasn't possible for the car to take the corner harder than it did actually, so that was quite good. Actually, that was perfect. I have nothing to complain about there. Okay, so I will take over now. I have actually already taken over, and that's because the car can't handle circulation spots and red and what do you call it, stop signs. But let's hope that that's for the upcoming version, the version 9. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's see what the next version comes with. Bye.